Hello, welcome to our assembly for today. I hope you're all okay. I hope you're having a lovely week. It's lovely at the moment. It's Tuesday today when I'm recording this, and it's beautiful weather. And I'm sitting here feeling a bit peaceful because I'm grateful for the sun that is shining outside and the lovely patterns in the clouds. It's a good day. So, we're going to have a quick look at these three slides that we've looked at quite a lot recently about aiming to be local, national and global citizens. And we talked on Monday about how everybody is included. Everybody has to be welcome, about how we are all welcome at Wincham. And if we do that, we are unprejudiced, how we are fair, how we are accepting that everybody belongs, we are inclusive and open-minded and friendly, all of these really, really important words. And if we do that, then we work towards our global goals. So we work towards peace and justice, reduced inequalities, good health and well-being, all of these things that make our school a better place, that make us happier people and more able to learn the really cool stuff that we've got going on in school. So on Monday, we talked about differences, and we were looking at completely different set of differences to things that we've looked at in the past. And today we're going to have a look at another very particular difference, how people can be different. And I'm going to share some stuff with you that you might know a lot about, you might not know very much about at all. So we're going to talk about something called autism, okay? Autism. And we're going to be learning lots of things about people who have autism and how it can affect their everyday lives and what we can do about it to make people who have autism feel included at our school. So we're going to learn about what it is. There's a couple of things to think about and to talk about, and then we're going to think about how we can make people feel welcome. So autism, it means somebody might be a little bit different, but that's not a bad thing. We're all different in our own ways. So somebody with autism might think or act differently. It doesn't make them look different. You can't look at somebody and say, I know you're autistic because of the way that you look. It doesn't work like that. And at least 1 in 100 people have got autism. So we say they are autistic. Okay. So that affects how people might think or act. So let's have a look at some examples. So what are the differences? Someone who has autism might have differences in 4 different areas. Okay. So it might be to do with talking, communicating, it might be to do with senses, it might be to do with thinking, and it might be to do with how they do things. So for example, these socks are different, but they're just both socks. And autistic people just have brains that work in a slightly different way. That doesn't mean they're not clever. They might be very, very clever. They might find their work difficult. It's got nothing to do with it. They're just people who work in a slightly different way. And just in the same way that if we had somebody who couldn't see, who was partially sighted, their eyes didn't work, we would still welcome them into school, but we would know what the difference is. Somebody with autism, their brain works in a different way, so we still welcome them into school. We still say, come on, yeah, let's go play out on the playground, or I'll help you with your English or whatever. Okay, so autism and talking. Some people with autism can be very loud. Others can be really, really quiet. Some people talk with their voice, and some use a tablet because they don't want to actually use their voice to speak. Some people like to talk about their favorite thing and talk about it a lot. And some people might feel nervous talking to new people. So here's a question for you. Talk with your partner. Stop the video. How do you talk to different people? There you go. So we all talk to different people in different ways. I talk to you guys a little bit differently to how I talk to your parents. I might talk to Mr. Bounds in a different way to speaking to one of the children in Mr. Bounds' class, in Grasshopper's class. So we all speak to different people in different ways. And just because some people are loud and others are quiet doesn't mean that you are autistic. Just because you like to talk about your favorite thing a lot doesn't mean that you are autistic. It's just that this is something that happens with people who have autism. So, autism and the senses. So, what are the 5 senses? Tell your partner if you can remember what those 5 senses are. Go. Right, we should have sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. So some people with autism will struggle with loud noises. They won't. Loud noises are really uncomfortable. Some people might not like certain smells, and it might be so strong that people can become unhappy and need to leave, or they need a break from what goes on. Some senses can actually feel painful for them, and you might see people wearing ear defenders because it makes them feel more comfortable. Okay. Autism and thinking. Now, some people might take longer to think about things. They might just need a bit more time, and you might need to wait for them to respond. It's not that they're being rude, they just take a little bit longer to think things through before they say it. Some people might do things differently to help them think. They might feel it easier if they don't have so many things to see around them. They're not distracted. Some people might want music in the background, or they might need to move ever so slightly or fiddle with something while they're thinking because it helps them. And some people like to do things in a certain way. They might have to have a list of jobs and they would tick off that list of jobs. And some people have really, really good memories, are really amazing at remembering facts and dates and things like that. So here's your activity, something to talk about. How do you get ready for school? Okay, what do you do when you get ready for school? Talk to your partner, and we'll talk a little bit afterwards about why we're thinking about that. Have some water. It's good to hydrate your brain. So, some people with autism will like to do things in a very certain way. They will have a set routine, a set pattern that they follow each day. And that's okay because that makes them feel comfortable. And then they're ready to go to school. So when I get ready, I know that I've got my shoes by the door. I know that my bag is by the door. That's my morning routine. I don't have autism, but I have my morning routine. Some people will be very, very routine based, and they will do the same thing each day. And that's okay. That's all right. Autism and doing. Okay. So some people have special interests, and some people might do things differently to you. So some people will show their happiness by smiling, or maybe by moving around quite a lot, because that helps them to show their happiness. And people with autism want to be friends, but they might not know how to start. They might feel uncomfortable about that. So what do you do when you're happy? Do you smile? Do you want to give somebody a big hug? Do you sit there going, oh, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited? Rub your hands together? How do you show that you're happy? See, we all have different morning routines. We all have different ways of showing that we're happy. We all have all sorts of different things, and that's all okay. Everybody is different, and everybody is welcome at Wincham, no matter how you get ready for school or show that you're happy. So an autistic person might have some or a lot of these differences. Some people hate loud noises, other people love them. They might have other differences. Every person is an individual. And just like we saw in the story about the Hueys and the jumpers, it's okay to be different, because then when everybody understands that why you're different, we just go, yeah, all right, fair enough. It helps us to understand other people, because that's when we get our peace and strong institutions. So we can all do things that make other people feel included. We can include someone by being nice to them. We can say, yeah, come along and play football with us. Come along and play TIG. So what do you do to be nice to other people? How do other people include you? Have a think about that in class. Okay, there's lots of ways, and I see you guys playing on the playground every day, talking to your mates. I see you getting on in class and working with other people, and you're being absolutely brilliant. It's really, really good. And you don't play differently with different people. You just get on with everybody, and that's fantastic. That's the important thing. So you can be kind if somebody does something different to you. You can talk to people about their interests. If somebody's really, really interested about trains, then you can listen. You can invite people to join in with what you're doing. If somebody says or does something you don't understand, you can ask. And it might be that you see someone get very upset, maybe more often than you think you would get upset. And they just need a bit of time and a bit of patience. So we're just nice to them if they feel upset. So here's this promise that I want everyone to make. I promise to be kind to others, include them in what I do. Now, I know that if somebody came to school with a really obvious difference, we've got somebody at school with different coloured skin, somebody at school who was using a walking frame to walk, somebody at school with Down syndrome, where we could say, yeah, I can recognise that this person is different. We'd be kind to them. With autism, we can't tell whether somebody is different, but we might be able to see it in the way that they act. And that's okay, because they have to act in the way that they do, and that everybody is still welcome at Wincham. So what we've learned, autism means just a bit different. And being different is okay, because we're all different from each other. Autism is a very specific type of difference. And autistic people have differences in how they talk, think, act, and their senses. And not all autistic people are the same in their differences. So we can be inclusive. It's one of those words that we had on our word cloud right at the start. And making a small change can have a big impact. And being nice to others is a choice that we make. Okay. So let's go back and let's have a look at this again. So we're all aiming to be responsible local, national, and global citizens by being accepting. If somebody is autistic, we might need to treat them just ever so slightly differently. We might need to be patient with them when they talk about trains. We might need to listen to them. We might need to accept that they kind of flap their hands around a bit if they're excited or happy. We might need to give them a little bit more time, because if they don't answer a question straight away, it doesn't mean they're being rude. It just means they're taking a little bit of time to think about it. We might need to just be accepting. They don't like strong smells, or they don't like loud noises. That's fine. All of these things are fine. It's okay, and everybody is welcome at Wincham. And we've got that word inclusive. We've got accepting, which are really, really important. And if we do all those things, then we will be kind, and everybody will be happy and safe at school. Have a lovely rest of the day, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.